See, my dog has made friends with you.
He reminds me of my dog at home.
Where is your home?
It is far from here, in North Galilee.
You are returning home?
I have been returning for many months, but I never get there. I cannot go home. I am ashamed.
How is that?
It is a sad tale. I am an unworthy son. 6 months ago, my father gave me a sum of money and told me to go to Jerusalem to buy certain goods for him. On the way, I met a young man, and we traveled together for a time. One morning, I awoke to find my companion gone. My money was gone too. I cannot return home and tell my father that I lost the money.
But your father loves you. He must want you to come back to him.
You will not wish to see a son who is not trustworthy.
Young man, you need to take your thoughts from your troubles for a time. Come with me to hear the great teacher, Jesus of Nazareth.
So it must have been in the time of Jesus. People came to him to hear him talk. The young man and his new friend joined them and listened also. Jesus was beginning to tell a story. There was a man who had 2 sons. As he speaks, the listeners picture the people in the story. A man with 2 sons. A workman who knows what it is to toil, and whose sons know also. Yet a good man and a careful one who has saved some money for his son's future. Such a man would have a wife who was expert at household tasks. One of his sons would be steady and hard-working. And the other, the younger one, would be lively and not too fond of his tasks, given to watching the road that ran past the gate. A passerby would claim his attention, and a light-hearted tune would take his mind completely away from his work. While a gay stranger who beckoned to him would arouse all his longings. This son would be eager to get out into the world instead of working hard like his brother. Should he stay at home with his father? Should he follow the gay stranger? His mind is made up. He will leave home. He says, "Father, give me the share of property that falls to me." His words were a shock to his mother and to his kindly father. It is hard on a father to have his son demand his share of the property so early in life. But such a father would not protest, though his heart ached because his son was eager to leave home. But the son's heart was filled with joy when he saw that he was to get what he wanted. And the father divided his property between his sons. Early one morning, not many days later, the younger son gathered his belongings and took his journey into a far country. The far country. Who hasn't dreamed of it in his mind? The place where there are no troubles, where all is laughter and joy and beauty. In the far country, he'd find friends who would laugh and feast with him and help him spend his money. And when he had spent everything, a great famine arose in that country, and he began to be in want. Hard times have come. The young man's friend will not stand by him now that all the money is gone. Hard times are bad even at home, but in the far country, they are bitter indeed. What kind of work can an unknown lad get? So he went and hired himself to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him into his fields to feed swine. A keeper of swine, a feeder of pigs. What a lowly task for one who was used to a loving family, good clothes, and plenty to eat. He won't make much of a living as a swineherd. His food will be little better than what the pigs eat. And he would gladly have fed on the pods that the swine ate, and no one gave him anything. When he came to himself, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have bread enough and to spare, and I perish here from hunger? I will arise and go to my father. And I will say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no more worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your hired servants.' And he came to his father. But while he was yet at a distance, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and embraced him and kissed him. And the son said to his father, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called son.' But the father said, Bring quickly the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand, and shoes on his feet, and bring the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and make merry. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to make merry. Jesus went on with his story, but the young man could stay no longer.
Where are you going?
Let me go. I have been wrong. The story shows me that.
I think your father would rather lose the money than his son.
I have been too proud to ask for forgiveness. I too will arise and go to my father. I too will ask for forgiveness.
You are right. Go in peace.